Hey everybody, Howie here with BP Realty, and I'm really excited to talk with one of our newer agents that has joined our specialist brokerage, Josh Roeder. Josh has been with us, how long now? 3 months, 4 months?
A little over 30 days.
A little over 30. Details. Howie, you're great with details. Nice job.
It feels like a long time. Feels like forever.
We've been together for years. So no, I've gotten to know Josh over the last 30 days, not 3 months. And I've just really enjoyed him joining our company and the energy he brings and all that. So Josh, thanks for taking a few minutes to talk about you and your journey and why you're here and who you are and, all that kind of stuff. So take a minute, tell people who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, thank you. First of all, I was born and raised in West Michigan. Directly after high school, I moved to Oregon for Portland State University. I met my wife out there, and we eventually decided to move closer to home. She's from Iowa. I'm from Michigan, so we kind of split the difference. Yeah. Iowa. So we decided to move to Michigan instead, buy a house. So we bought a place in Walker. I kind of got heavily involved in family income properties and at one point just decided go all in, get my real estate license, just go for it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what was your career path before? What'd you do for a living?
Well, I was in restaurants for just under 20 years, restaurant operations. It was a blast. I had a really good time, but all good things come to an end, and it was time to move on and find something new.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for people that are in the restaurant industry. I actually worked, I don't know if I ever told you this, through high school, I worked at a local restaurant in Hudsonville called Jerry's Country Inn, and nice. I would open, Saturday mornings and get the grills going at 4:30 in the morning, whatever it was, and it's hard work, man. You got to have great work ethic, and it's pretty intense, as far as dealing with customers and that type of thing. So I got a ton of respect. 20 years, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was quite a fun ride for a while.
Yeah. So then obviously you made a switch and said, hey, let's jump in full time to real estate. Was that wrapped around just because you've been involved with family business and rentals and that type of thing, or what caused you to make the jump?
Well, I was always interested in it. I know quite a few people that have gotten into the industry and had a lot of success, had a wonderful time, and it seemed like something that I could get into and build a practice for myself and kind of just develop using the skills that I've already kind of built up through the restaurant industry with customer service. Seemed like kind of a natural transition to move into, and it just kind of got me excited.
Yeah, cool. So how did you go about that process? Like, where did you begin researching? Obviously there's lots of choices of real estate brokerages, all kinds of different names out there. Talk about that. How did you make that connection? Because you didn't start with us, obviously. So we'll talk more about that. But how did you end up with where you started in your career?
Yeah. Well, I think like a lot of people, I didn't really know where to start. So my first inclination was, let's go to the biggest person out there. Let's go to the largest brokerage that I can find. And hopefully within that dynamic and team model, I'm going to find success for myself, because they're the biggest and they do all these places and they're all over the place. And sadly, that wasn't my experience, but that's where I started because that's all I knew. And, that's when you're getting a lot of direction from friends and family who also kind of don't know. They kind of direct you to go places that, they think those big box kind of places are going to be the best start. So you get in and you figure it out and you learn and you figure out whether it's a good fit for you or not.
Yep. That's an interesting journey, because most people that I ask that question of, they have a relationship. Well, I know a friend or a family member or that's with XYZ company, right? And that relationship is what draws you in. That's what drew me in 27 years ago. My uncle was a real estate agent with Greenridge Realty. And so when he kept knocking on my door going, hey, you should do this, I finally said, okay, I'll do it. And I didn't research any options. I didn't do any research at all. I just went, I'll just go to the company that you're at, right?
Right.
It's relationship based, but yours was more based around the perception or belief that, hey, the biggest with many signs and many agents, that's really going to be the place to help me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Honestly, I kind of just went with the oversaturation of that advertisement and that marketing, and kind of got hooked in by that. And,
Yeah.
not to say it was a bad thing. I definitely learned quite a few
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Well, and Josh, this is not a time to say one is bad and one is good. They're just different, right?
Yep,
They're
absolutely.
completely different. And so what was your journey like starting at Keller Williams? What did that, how long were you there and what did that look like? What did that feel like? Just kind of an overview.
Yeah. So I got recruited through Indeed with Keller Williams when I was looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Got in there. They, ton of information. I didn't find the direction that I was looking for, the focus, the mentorship that I really was trying to get.
Yeah.
Um, and it kind of made me want to start searching out a good mentor. One of my experiences in my professional life has always been find somebody who can teach and coach and help you get where you want to be, because there's so much stuff you don't know,
Yep.
and you don't know what you don't know until you figure it out.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
that was kind of my path.
It's called the journey of life. You don't know what you don't know, right?
No kidding.
There are many times, even at 51 years of age, that I go, well, I just went to college on that one. I didn't know that, and it cost me.
Yep.
So you were there 3 months, is that right?
3 months. Yep.
You were there 3 months. Did you have any sales in that 3 months?
I did not. No.
Okay. Did you, and you didn't get obviously the leadership, the mentorship, the training that you had hoped for?
I got a pretty good experience in cold calling and door knocking. That was kind of like, you're going to cut your teeth on something, cut your teeth on those. And
Yep.
kind of that's where I started. And, as far as the education process, there was a lot of information available to me.
Yep.
There was, hundreds upon hundreds of hours of videos that I could be watching. But I never knew where to start, which one was the most appropriate to begin with.
Yep.
So I just kind of bounced around from one informational bit to the next, and nothing really had good context
Yeah.
at the time, so it got a little frustrating.
Yeah. That journey reminds me of back in the day when I was a minority partner with Century 21 affiliated. Century 21 is a national franchise, just like Keller Williams. And I had conversations with our partners about that all the time, that, hey, it's great that there's all kinds of content, information. Hey, we got this video you can watch. We got this support. We got, all kinds of stuff, right? But how good of a job are we doing getting that stuff implemented, using it, helping the agents connect to it, and how to connect the dots, and kind of almost like a regional player, right, of rolling that out. And that's the secret sauce, right? Of actually,
Right.
you have someone that teaches you how to use it and shows you how to use it and goes on appointments with you to use it, and that type of thing. So,
Well, and there were so many good people there too. Like, you just kind of get caught up in forming new relationships and hanging out with all these people, that you kind of get lost in the idea that, like, well, I actually got in this to do something with it. I'm just hanging out in an office all day long, just chit chatting, but I'm not really getting anything done.
it's almost like a country club feeling, right? Like, hey, I'm part of the group. This is cool.
Right.
It's fun. And then 3 months later, you go, my checkbook does not like this stuff. This
Nope.
is kind of not so much fun no more. Like, okay, guys, the rubber's hitting the road here, and it ain't making it, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly it.
So then obviously we met, I think, through Indeed also, correct? We were running Indeed ads, and we went through the interview process, and you obviously made the move and became an agent here with BP Realty, a specialist brokerage. And you've been your 30 days, and I'm so sorry. If it seriously feels like 90 days, I'm just yeah, because you're doing great. What's that experience been? Talk about some successes, what that's looked like, how that's been different for you.
Yeah. I mean, at my previous brokerage, I felt like I was kind of floundering a little bit. Here I have learned more in that 30 days than I did in the 3 months that I was there, just because of the structured environment, just because of the way things are laid out for you right off the bat. And, you guys have done a fantastic job of getting me launched and getting me where I want to go and getting me directly connected to what's important when it's important, putting those priorities in line. That's something that I don't think you can just do for yourself when you don't know what you don't know. And it's really hard to get that momentum behind you without knowing where you're supposed to put your efforts. But this has just been night and day. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, awesome. So how has that happened? I mean, has that just been from me, or what does that look like? Talk about that a little bit. Who's been helping you?
Yeah. So my lead, Drew, has been very involved with kind of keeping me, going forward, just weekly check-ins like, hey, how you doing? Where are you at with this? Where are you struggling? What do you need to know more about? How can I give you, what you need, the tools that you need to succeed? And I mean, it's wonderful.
Awesome. So you've got Drew as a lead, kind of doing life with you, doing transactions, doing here's your prospecting strategies, here's how to do this. I mean, going on appointments with you, or you're going on appointments with him, maybe doing open houses with you. I mean, that kind of journey, right?
Yep. But it's still all very much on me. He's not holding my hand or forcing me to do anything. He's just giving me the tools that I've been asking for a long time.
Yep.
And he's giving to me, the things that I need to get successful. And that's how I've gotten launched so fast in 30 days.
Yep. Yep. And I'm assuming do you have any sales under your belt in 30 days?
I sure do.
Good for you.
I sure do. I'm having a blast.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yep. It's been absolutely just amazing. It's been very rewarding.
Well, I think this industry, because of what you experienced, so many experience it, right? That there's a huge fallout rate, right? Like the National Association of Realtors shares that almost 90% of new people that try and get in the business 2 to 5 years later are back out. They have failed. They don't make it, right? And so the public's perception is, oh, I knew somebody that didn't make it, right? I know somebody didn't make it. And so they're scared to get in. And we make it, a very much a priority. Hey, in your first 30 days, we need to get you a paycheck, right? We need to get some income rolling and get you taken care of for 2 reasons. One, you need it, right? And have success. But 2, it's hard to serve the client when you're in survival mode yourself, right? And we don't want you ever in survival mode, because then you're not going to be able to serve properly to the clients. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, hey, we've highlighted a couple of times that BP Realty is a specialist brokerage. It's the only kind of its type in West Michigan and all of Michigan that I'm aware of. And, the specialist brokerage provides things like lead generation, lead conversion, customer qualification, appointment setting for you as an agent, a 29 touch nurture plan for your sphere that just is handled for you. Coaching, you talked about Drew as your lead. Plus we provide an opportunity to grow personally, professionally, and financially with our leadership. You can move into a lead role and mentor others, that type of thing. Wrapped around, and that's a lot, right? I just said a lot, but wrapped around that, Josh, how do you personally see all of this affecting your income?
Well, yeah. My relationships with my clients, because I'm able to focus so much more on just their needs, are I guess more rewarding. They're deeper. They're more involved. It feels less transactional. So I get a lot more of the reciprocation that you want with good clients.
Yeah.
And my ability to just focus on that one task at a time has really made a huge difference in getting where I wanted to go. And when you're at a different brokerage, you kind of focus a little bit on everything, a little bit on selling, a little bit on buying, a little bit on listing, a little bit on anything that you possibly can. But you never really rapidly develop the skills that you need to get from that initial point to a closed transaction, right? Because you're just doing little pieces at a time. So, working as a specialist at a brokerage where, I am a buyer specialist, I get to focus on that client relationship, and it goes from 0 to 100 so much faster.
Yeah. The word picture, or the analogy we use, Josh, and you articulated it beautifully in your own words. But your traditional models that you see today, right? You think about a doctor's office. The traditional agent is the receptionist, the nurse, and the doctor, right? And what we're doing here is you're just a doctor. We're giving you the support of the receptionist. We're giving you the support of the nurse. We're letting you spend your time diagnosing, nurturing relationships, right? Doing the $250 per hour activity, and we'll hire the receptionist at $15 an hour or whatever that is, right? We're giving you that support, and yeah. Are you gonna make it?
I drank my coffee wrong.
What did you do that for?
I apparently have a coffee drinking problem.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
Sorry.
because you can focus and do this, obviously you'll be able to make more money that way, right? You think about the specialist.
Yeah, and that's actually that, at first it was a big leap to jump into that idea, but it's actually turned out to be absolutely 100% true.
Yeah, cool. How do you think personally this will affect you when it comes to family time, quality of life, vacations? What does that look like, this model for you?
This might be the first time in my career I've ever been able to actually spend as much time with my family as I have. I can realistically talk about taking a vacation where I never really could before.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a balance that I have never really had being in the service industry for as long as I had.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to adjust to the idea that, I can be home when I need to be, and I can be there with my wife, and we can go on trips and we can do stuff. And, so it's kind of weird to adjust back to that idea.
Yeah. Yeah. The industry as a whole offers a lot of flexibility, right? To be able to do those kind of things and schedule appointments, to around that. The specialist brokerage, obviously, because we all pull on the rope the same, we have a shared purpose, we all have the same standard, right? One agent can step out of that model, but yet your customers, your clients, people that know you, trust you, love you, are going to get the same level of expertise, competency, standard, professionalism while you're gone, which means you actually can be gone. You're not only going on vacation, but you can attend emotionally, mentally, physically. You can attend that vacation. We've got a pretty you haven't experienced that because you've been here 30 days, haven't taken a vacation from here, but we urge you, we plead with you, please do two things. Your email says you don't have access to email and to contact your lead. Your cell phone voicemail says, I don't have cell service. Don't leave a message here. You need immediate assistance. Call my lead, Drew, right? Like, you completely check out. And the beautiful thing is when you can completely check out mentally, physically, emotionally, you're able to fill that cup of yours. You're able to pour into yourself, rejuvenate yourself, recharge yourself, and you actually come back more efficient, more effective, able to pour into more clients because you actually did check out. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so because you're more recharged, you're going to be more efficient, more effective, and obviously do more business. So.
Well, I mean, I've only been here 30 days, like you said, but I've already seen it with other agents that are here, and I've seen what that environment that is cultivated here does for those people's clients. Yep. And it really just, they really can check out. They really can go on vacation, and, somebody's going to be there to kind of support and help them and keep their clients happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Homes are still being sold. Homes are still being listed. Closings are still happening. All the while, nothing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's worth a heck of a lot, especially coming from a guy who hasn't had a holiday off in over, almost 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What do you think about this model? How does this model support your clients experience? How do you think that differs, or what's important to the client about this?
Well, I mean, it goes back to, kind of what we were saying about being able to focus on just that one thing and do it well, instead of being torn in multiple different directions and, not really having the time or the ability to fully take care of your clients' needs and really be there and present with them for where their experience is. You can actually do that in this environment, in this model. Yeah. And, I think that is, like I said, I think that's led to some really great connections with my clients.
Yeah. Yeah. Real estate is a big deal. This is hundreds of thousands of dollars we're dealing with. And the consumer deserves, right? The highest level of competency, standard, expertise, you know what I mean? That's in the industry. And when you're a jack of all trades, right, is basically what you said, versus a master of one, yeah, the consumer just normally gets just an okay experience, right?
Right.
That's out there. So, dude, 30 days in, where do you want this to go? What are future goals, aspirations as you grow and as you grow with BP?
I just want to keep it going. I've rarely can I say that I've had this much fun at a job. Maybe one or two times in my entire career can I say I've had this much fun. So I want to keep this going. I'd love to be a lead. I'd love to be a coach. My background in team development is something that I think I can definitely bring strongly here. But man, I just want to keep seeing where this goes. I mean, every day is it's just a blast.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
That's and thank you for saying that, because I'll throw it back at you. It's a blast because you're a blast. Your attitude, your work ethic, your focus, your coachability, like we give you things and you don't, you don't hover in that fear zone of, I don't know if it's going to work, right? You're like, no, let's try it. Let's dig in. Let's get after it. And you're doing amazing. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. I wouldn't say that I was having this much fun if I really wasn't.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. So last question, Josh. If you know anyone, or if anyone watching this is thinking about a career in real estate, or they're currently in real estate, they've got their license, but it's just not working like they had hoped it would, what would you tell them to do?
I would honestly say the longer you wait, the more you're going to kick yourself later. Just dive in, try it, see what happens.
Yeah.
Get through that test, get into the industry. It's as rewarding as everything you put into it. You're going to get back 10 times.
Yeah. Do you think with anyone, anywhere, get into the industry? Or
I mean, maybe not everybody, but I mean, I think if you have, a passion for helping people and a passion for, finding a way to have a better work-life balance for yourself and deepening the relationships with your family and your friends, I think this is a wonderful industry for that. And I think that if you are at a brokerage where you're struggling, where you're not really making ends meet, I think it comes down to that coaching and that leadership and the structured environment of giving you the tools that you need to succeed. And I think this does a great job of it.
yeah, cool, man. Well, we are blessed to have you part of our company, and you're a ride to hang out with. I appreciate you taking some time to share your story of the last 30 days with BP, and just appreciate you, man.
Thanks, man. You too.
All right, have a good day.
All right, see ya.